Hey guys, live shopcast down here. Threw this up. I don't do these all that often, but every once in a while we'll get them done. Just a live open forum here in the shop. I post up a link on YouTube and Facebook, things like that. I don't necessarily know too far ahead of time when I'm going to do these, but we throw them out there. They are recorded, so you guys can watch them later. Obviously, some of you are seeing them that way, but it's open for 10 or 15 people to join me in here, and then as many people can watch live as they like. But with that, finally I'm getting a chance to get back down to the shop more. My internet's being a little sketchy, so hopefully I don't have too many issues with that. It'll every once in a while drop out, so that, but hopefully that doesn't cause huge issues with the Hangout. But with that, that's what we got going on. I'm down here in the shop. I'll probably move to the other room, the studio room, because I'm probably going to work on getting that area cleaned up. Right now, the shop is clean, so that's where I've been hanging out lately. But that's what we got going on now. I just posted up the links. Brett and Derek have joined already, but I'm sure we'll fill up as these things go on. So that's where we're at. I don't know exactly what I'm going to work on tonight, other than I do need to get the shop or the studio cleaned, as I did clean this room up and it looks nice, but the other room is a disaster still. I thought about working on the capo tonight. I don't know. It's a little late to start working on that. I think I need to dedicate more time to working on it all at once rather than trying to fit it in. So that's where we're at. That's what I got going on. Brett, what are you working on?
I'm putting my rims and tires together for my new Jeep.
The China Jeep?
Yeah.
What wheels are you on? 155 or 19?
19. I got these Mayhems.
Oh yeah. Are those Mayhems or Gearheads?
Mayhems.
Are they? They look like the Gearhead BTR wheels, rims, whatever.
When I bought them off RCC, he had them listed as Mayhems.
I'll take his word for it, I suppose. I've got my yellow hard body Jeep here as well.
Yeah.
I want to get started on that thing.
You gonna go GCM frame?
I think so. I think it makes sense. At the same time, there's some things I'd like to do here and there. I just don't know. I like how the GCM one. I love. It's Chris's, right? The white one with the fenders cut off, a little bit more clearance, clean little cage.
That's what I'm going to be doing with this one. The fenders are coming out this one.
That one looks great. I think that's just the cleanest version of one of those Jeeps I've seen that I've really liked.
Yeah.
I
there's my skeleton chassis with the dinky.
Oh, the cantilevers, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see if I go to how do I forget how to screen share every once in a while? Not screen share. Let's see. Entire screen share. Is my screen sharing now? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, it's their cover photo on that. But man, that thing is just super clean.
Yeah. That's a full. It's almost a 60-point truck, I think.
Right.
He's
Now
50, but.
Now that's That's his class 2, I believe, right?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's a sweet truck.
Yeah, I think I would rather have this little hard body be my class 1, but at the same time, I think I lean towards that being the style that I like better.
Yeah. Well, I got the yellow one as my class 1.
Right. And driving that one is what made me want to,
Yeah.
Like I was telling you, I think next time you, Matt, and I are running something, we need to run 3 of those little piss ants around.
Yeah, it's I surprised myself how much I enjoy running the small tire truck.
I think everything has its own has its time and place, right?
Oh, for sure.
Small tire trucks are, you know, I think that it's kind of one of those things like the G6, like we were running that terrain. I've never been to a G6 that had anything that was actually technical crawling. That I thought I needed a good crawler to get through or over or past.
Yeah.
It was one of those things that you could always find your way up it. It was just if you wanted to go as fast as you could. Sometimes you needed a harder, take a harder line. But it seems like if you could make it harder by taking the abilities of your truck away, maybe it would be, something a little bit more challenging.
Yeah.
So.
It all depends on where you are.
Yeah, always does. But I think that that last half of that loop up there in the Canadian G6, that thing with 3 of those little tire trucks would have been a workout.
Oh, you would have spent all day there.
Right.
What I learned the other day, do you remember when we got down into that valley and it got cold?
Yeah, where the caves were.
Do you know there was still ice in the caves?
Yeah, I had heard the Boy Scouts that were up there talking about that. That was a cool part. Warsaw Caverns, is that what it's called?
Yeah. They say the ice is there all year round.
I wish I would have got a chance to, go into one of those caves at least, but.
Yeah, we're going to, the week that Matt gets back from East Coast.
Yeah.
The next week we're all going to go back up to Warsaw.
Nice. Yeah, that'd be a good trip.
We're expecting you to be there.
Right. It's gonna pop up there. Quick 18-hour trip.
Yeah, no worries.
So, yeah, I do want to get onto that yellow Jeep, but I am kind of stoked to start working on the spawn a little bit.
Yeah.
I think going. I posted like a picture or two for those who haven't seen it, but let's move some stuff around.
Yeah. That's one of the things I like having like 5 or 6 builds running at the same time.
What'd you say?
One thing I like having is a bunch of rigs that I can work on.
Oh yeah. Well, I get bored and then I need something new and.
Yeah, and then you can come back to it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not something. It's something that it takes a while to be able to do necessarily, But I agree. It's something I like to do as well. But so the Wraith spawn here, like I said, I posted a picture of wanting to get back to work on this thing. Right now, I've got it zip tied down the chassis height wise.
Yeah.
So across the front and rear axle. That's just to I want the lower links to be level across the belly at ride height, and we'll adjust that with shock lengths and things like that when I finally get to that point. But the rear, there's I don't know. It depends on how long some of you guys have been watching. It was a while ago, but when I did my last Wraith, the hit and run buggy, I used one of the DMG Stiffy kits, and a lot of people will know what those are. But you basically take a portion of the cage, the Wraith cage, and you cut it off.
Yeah.
Now the one that I'm going to be using, I'm going to cut off right behind this B pillar, all this back, and then all the way down. Everything behind that little driver's compartment, that all gets removed completely. And then it's got a bulkhead, an aluminum bulkhead that bolts in on the sides. The whole top part gets removed, and a new piece starts bolting in right up here in the very front. And it'll come all the way back, bolt in at the B pillar, and then you get a whole new shape in the rear. And it's all TIG welded aluminum. Jerry, the DMG is the guy who makes that. But what I'm going to do with this one is, like I showed you, I want that real low ride height. But back here, it's kind of hard to see. You can see this piece of filler wire that I have back here. Now, that comes way far back. It's probably about 3 inches past the back of the existing chassis. And what I want to do is, it's actually going to come back. It's going to be that desert style, that trophy truck desert style that usually they've got, like their fuel cell or something like that, way far in the back, or that's where they carry their spare tires, things like that. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. It's going to be a much longer back. It's going to be set up for trailing arms. So the shock mounts will be further forward and raised up because I'll run the Vanquish lower links, and that's what this whole thing's going to turn into. We'll see. It's
going to be a low slung one like the Crispy was.
Right. Yeah, it'll be along those lines. I've got to figure. I'll have to really start playing around with how I'm going to get the travel out of the front end, because maintaining up travel is going to be what I don't want to just limit the shocks to get the ride height and then have no up travel. So
actually,
I'll play around with that.
Being low slung like that in the trailing arms, it's very similar to Mantis.
Yes, it is very similar to a Mantis. The benefit that the Mantis has is it does have that front end that kicks up.
Right.
And that Mantis is definitely designed to have proper travel. I'm going to try and make this thing look how I want and then try and fit the travel somehow, and that's going to be the difficult part. But
so this is going to be like your ultimate performance crawler,
huh? I think it'll be more of my go fast than I think in the rocks, that long overhang in the rear will make crawling ability suffer.
Yeah, because the Mantis isn't a great crawler.
Right. Goes fast, and is playing it at speed.
Yeah, if you get into the really technical stuff, it starts to get hung up.
Right.
So, I'm going to try to raise mine a little bit.
I really have no idea what the point of this thing will be. Technically, I guess you could try and run it like U4 style or something like that. That's not really my goal. I don't think that U4 racing with it. Honestly, U4 racing around here just didn't kick off. People didn't get into it like they did on the West Coast, especially. The West Coast is huge, and so is down south. Not South Texas. Well, Texas has some, but like Arizona, New Mexico, the guys around where Voodoo is, and other areas, of course, as well. But it seems to be real heavy in those areas. But here we had a dedicated location. We built a track. The track actually looked great. We had a lot of fun playing around on it for a little bit, but really no one got like hot and heavy interested in actually racing or anything like that.
Yeah, so we're a little different here. You say U4 here, and people going, what? What's that?
Yeah, it's we've got so many guys here with trucks that are basically built to run U4 racing even, and the whole deal, but it just didn't really happen. We just didn't, and it's odd, especially with the amount of Yetis and well-built Wraiths and all that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
honestly, the racing side of it, I'm not disappointed that it didn't kick off. I'm not a racer, and
I'd like to have a track to screw around on, but
yeah, that would be fine with me as well. Somewhere where you could really just huck those things around. But I'm not overly disappointed in it or anything like that. So. But having the Spawn kit here, the Wraith is I love the Wraith. And having this thing here, sitting here in stock factory trim, I wanted to do something, I just didn't know what. Man, so,
Now,
but
don't you have another stock like parts Wraith you made?
yeah, that is. But this one's got like my Curry axles,
Okay, yeah, that's right.
bomb-proof transmission, and my U4 tires, KMC wheel.
So are you gonna like try to upgrade both of them, or try to leave one as stock as possible?
Ooh, I don't leave anything as stock as possible.
That never works out well.
That is a little bit of the thing. Like this was literally just parts and pieces that I just have here, and I just wasn't using. I had a Wraith chassis, and I had the drivetrain that basically came out of my Wraithzilla, my Mattzilla Wraithzilla. So the I didn't really have a project that I had these things slated for yet or anything like that. So but I had a stock Wraith cage sitting here, so I just threw it in there.
Well, that's how my last 3 builds turned out. It was all spare parts, right?
Right, and I just didn't have this nice drivetrain sitting in anything, and it just seemed like it should have. Now, this skid plate's been transferred from one build to another, and it's like permanently stained with that Utah red dirt mud. You have to scratch it off so hard that I was like, I'll let it wear off eventually. But this should be, and it's got the Holmes 540 Polar Pro in it, and so that should be a good motor, fun little motor. But overall, I really don't know. I think having just a Wraith that is kind of set up for that crawling and bashing off road, like this one is like just one of those trucks you have to have. It doesn't have to be built with Currys and all that. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, they really are fun cars. I love mine.
Right. Especially if you're in like an area like our Goat Hill. Goat Hill's a lot of technical rock, some go fast stretches, but just a lot of natural rock shelves, and then rocks that break off of that because of the type of rock we have here. So you come through a lot of small like nuisance rock type sections, and a solid axle car on 2.2s like a Wraith, you can just blast around there and it's a ton of fun. A 1.9 you have to drive slow and technical through, and I like that as well. It's just different.
Yeah.
Trying to take a Yeti through there is just a huge pain in the ass. So
now, let me ask you something, because I got a friend that is wanting to get into RC, and he's really thinking about a Yeti. Now, out of its 2 sort of main abilities that it's marketed as, do you think it's better at the crawling or the go fast?
Oh, it's a go fast.
It's for sure a go fast.
The Yeti is a U4.
Right. Honestly, the Yeti is fun, but I would never tell anybody to buy a Yeti if they didn't own a Wraith already.
A Yeti is not a first truck.
Yeah, I really don't think that it is like a first truck, like that.
It's a secondary truck or a third truck.
The Wraith is my favorite car, but if somebody was new to like crawling in RC, the very first car I'd ever tell them to get was an SCX-10. It's I don't know, the SCX, that deadbolt is the best car Axial's ever made. It's built well. It's got good upgrades in it right out of the box. It's super cheap, $299 for a ready to run. It's by far their cheapest one. If anybody ever asked me, what car they'd want to buy, I was like, just get Deadbolt. Get the Deadbolt ready to run, SCX-10 version, and start from there. I think the SCX-10 is like the most versatile little setup. Yeah, it's ready for some updates or things like that, but I think that it's just a solid truck, and you'll never run out of things to do with it or to it or whatever.
Yeah.
So the Yeti is really appealing because of how fast it goes, and some people just have to have speed. But I don't know.
You only drive fast cars when you have money to spend at the hobby store.
And the Yeti is one of those. It's gonna cost you money. I mean, that car goes fast, and solid rear axle cars are not, independent suspension cars. They handle differently. They've got, a more realistic handling. I don't know if you want to say that. I mean, some cars handle really well, but a Yeti is a different beast than a Slash. You can give anybody a Slash and they can just go, they'll be fine. But it's
it's just really hard because like my friend, I took over my two cars, which is a Wraith and a Stampede VXL, and it's like he loved both of them equally. It's like I don't know what to tell him to get. Do you get the Wraith or a Slash or something? It's just
right.
Never know.
I mean, a Wraith and a Stampede's a pretty good combo.
Oh yeah, you got one to go stupid fast, and then you got the other one to do really good crawling.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the Wraith can
Like
absolutely be built into a extremely capable crawler, and that was my first intention that I was thinking with this Spawn was straight up crawler. I was gonna go 4-wheel steer, keep it light and all that, but when I got the hankering to build a desert style rear section and things like that, I just had to do that instead. I want a 4-wheel steer Wraith again. My first Wraith was a 4-wheel. I built into a 4-wheel steer Wraith, and it was a blast. Let's see. Let's see. We go to.
You still there?
What?
Josh? Do we lose him?
I don't hear him. I don't hear him, and I can't see him. And on the live stream, it doesn't show his camera.
Yeah.
Oh, and oh no.
Yeah, his internet kicked him.
Yeah. Yeah, was he having internet problems? Is that why it took so long for the stream to start?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be back, but I think we're not recording anymore.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll see the delay and see if the stream is still going. Oh, no, he's out, and it's just us. We gotta keep it alive.
Yeah,
So what are you working on right now?
I'm just building tires.
Yeah.
Rims and tires.
I wonder how long I just talked to myself before it actually told me to kick me off.
Probably a while.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
Well, we lost you as soon as you turned your screen.
Okay, yeah, I did talk to myself a little while. So, well, that's my that's the internet issues that I was speaking of.
So I don't think you were recording anymore, right?
No, it still says live at the top. So,
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it still live.
so the I don't remember why it quit last time I did that. I think it was because it was something I did differently. I closed something or something along those lines, and that ended up killing it, and I didn't notice. So, anyway. So yeah, that's the race spawn, and hopefully I can get. Hopefully that starts off next week sometime.
So I think you were going to show us your four-wheel drive Wraith.
God, I already talked about that to myself. I'm over that now. My bad. Anyway, yes, I used to have four-wheel steer Wraith. I don't anymore. I took it out when I went to Tekin Pro 4 because it was too much to handle. And now that I have a bunch of Wraiths, I want another four-wheel steer.
See, I've never done a four-wheel steer. I'm thinking the mud truck's going four-wheel steer.
What's that?
I've never done four-wheel steer.
It's a lot of fun.
So maybe the mud truck will be.
Whoa. That's a terrible idea. I mean, not that mud trucks can't have four-wheel steer. I'm just talking about that mud truck.
Why? It'll be fine.
Right. You try and put a bunch of power into a four-wheel steer truck, and it just drives funny. So
It'll be fun.
it'll be fine.
It'll be entertaining.
Let's see. What else?
You mean SDX with a P8 in it? It's going to be a little squirrely?
Right. So here's the current project table.
I do like those new rims.
Yeah, they came out great. Where the hell did they go?
Yeah, those are nice.
Those are nice.
Yeah, these are the KMC XD 127s is what they're modeled after. And they do look great. Now this has got the new center cap in them. You can see there?
Yeah.
So for the people who haven't seen these yet, it is a separate center cap actually. This is what the center cap actually is. Separate piece. And then your regular wheel, like this is just like the Methods or any of the OMF styles. So anyway, that center cap slides in from the back through the front. Then you line it up with the SLW hub. So to actually install these onto your car, you need to put your SLW hub on first, tighten your wheel nut on, then you would line up the center cap and wheel and bolt the wheel onto your car with the 6 hub screws. So it does take more work, but if you want the look of that center hub, that's what you have to do. But the good thing is that if you don't want to do that, you don't have to buy them, and you can just run the standard or KMC wheel.
Because remember those rims I bought off of Howard?
Yes, those were the old SSZs.
Yeah. They were like that.
Yeah.
You had to screw on the hubs first.
Right. And the thing with those is that you didn't have the option to not run the center cap. So, they were aware that those were a pain. But, if you wanted that style of wheel, that was just what they had at the time. And now they want to make it, at least give people the choice if they want to go through the hassle of running that look. They can. If they don't want to, they don't have to. Now, the other thing to mention is that center cap does add width or offset to the SLW hub. So you'll want to drop down one size SLW if you're going to run the hub.
Now those hubs fit on any of their rims, right?
Yeah.
Any of the Methods, right?
Any that uses an SLW hub.
Yeah.
So It's made to fit that exact same hole, so any wheel that uses an SLW hub should be able to run these without any modification. Now I would have these things already done and on the deadbolt, but I'm waiting on the KLRs to come in, so I'm holding off as long as I can. These things look pretty good. I just mounted up a trep for a while just because I wanted to see what it looked like. Which I might as well mount a second so I can actually put them on the car and see what it looks like. I do need to get the studio cleaned up because that thing is a disaster as well. I was thinking I might be able to get that done tonight, but we'll see. Yeah, Brett, I did clean up the Ultra 4 a little bit from some of the Canadian dirt that was still on it, but I have not got it completely cleaned.
Figure out what's broken?
It wasn't broken.
Oh no, your deadbolt was broken. What was broken in the deadbolt?
That front inner axle.
Did you fix that yet?
No. No, I have not. I was waiting on those new axles, remember?
Yeah. Have they not showed up yet?
Nope.
Are they available off RPP yet?
I don't believe so. He was supposed to send them as soon as they came in, so I've got all the parts here for him. So I'm.
What about those other axles that you were talking about?
After these, I think is the plan. So.
Is there a date for those?
Maybe the first of the month.
Oh, that's soon, eh?
Yeah. But yeah, the new SSD axles, the plastic housings is what I plan to put in the deadbolt for, test out, see how they do, see if they can hold up to the brushless that I have in this truck, which is my concern with them. And then so we'll see how they do. We'll give them
Well, back to those other ones.
No.
Are they SCX first or Wraith or both?
Should be everything.
At the same time?
Yeah. The one thing that I'm having a hard time decide, I had Curry axles under the Scout,
Yeah.
and with the offset that I had in those, honestly, that truck was not much narrower than the XR width that I've got in this 4. Because in the XR width I've got super narrow offset. So, and then you don't have any scrubs to. But I'm having a hard time deciding what to do on the deadbolt. I'm really looking forward to getting these new KLRs from Matt, and I think that tire should be a lot of fun. I like that size that he's going with. That's the only thing I don't like about the tires on the deadbolt here, these rock pieces. They perform so well, but they're just short. So I'm looking forward to getting those KLRs onto these KMCs and then getting the deadbolt freshened up a little bit. And then
blues or silvers?
I think, I don't know. I'd have to ask what he's sending. He was going to send blues because that's what the test sets he had were. But I think he ended up making one adjustment to the actual design after the test set. So he was going to just send me the new ones. The test sets didn't have any of the lettering or anything like that on them either. So.
Right.
But I think, hopefully as long as all that stuff is good to go with his bead design and all that, I think he'll have a hit, and I think he'll sell a crap ton of them. I'm sure we will all know someone running KLRs soon.
Yep.
I'll be interested to see how they stack up in the rocks, and then going fast. I think they'll do well. The tread separation, or the the tread block separation on them looks pretty good, pretty aggressive. And that will be the. Hopefully they clean it well. I assume that they do everything pretty well. He uses that good rubber compound, so we all know that'll work well.
Well, if they're anything like the U4s, I love the U4.
Oh yeah, it's a great tire and super versatile, especially if you get in there and start working it and do something different, sipe the tire or anything like that.
Yeah.
And next weekend we will. Nicole and I are taking a trip, going out, and we're gonna go to California. We're gonna see my brother out there. Also gonna stop in at Vanquish and see those guys and do that whole thing. It should be a fun trip. Looking forward to that. I'm sure I'll see all kinds of fun stuff to play with.
What part of California are you going to?
The Bay Area, Sacramento.
That's just above where I am.
Oh yeah, where are you at?
San Diego.
I thought San Diego was way to the south.
Hmm?
I thought San Diego was at the very south.
It is for the most part, but Sacramento, we go there sometimes.
Yeah, that's on like the north side of the state, though. That's a long drive, isn't it?
Not from what I remember.
You go there. Google it.
I'm about to now. You're making me wonder. Google Maps, help me.
I think it's a longer drive for me.
Yeah, just a little.
I don't care what part of California it is. It's a long drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Let's see. Yeah, it's got to be like 10 hours for you to get to.
For who, me?
No, not for you.
So what are you spoken?
Did you find out how far away you were yet?
38 hours.
38 hours.
Yeah, okay. Never mind that. What did I have that mixed up with then?
I don't know.
Like, I must be high on something.
You are in California.
True. dumbfounded right now.
Yes, your geography has failed you.
Yeah, well, that's not my strong suit.
Well,
Never said I was smart, so I'm fine with it.
I'm only 36 hours from.
Well, you know, with coffee breaks and pee breaks, gas, 38, you're probably pretty safe.
Unless I take the vet.
Yeah. Okay.
And that determines whether or not I do jail time.
One thing about running a steel wheel on this deadbolt is that they do rust. And well, you know, I don't mind the patina look. I'm not a huge fan of of just a rusty wheel look.
Oh, are you talking about those pressed wheels that you put on there, those SSD?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for the price and everything, a good deal. But they still rust.
Yeah.
All right. Where did?
Talked to Lou lately?
I called him yesterday, and he didn't. He texted me back, but I didn't talk to him actually.
I'll send him a message, see if he wants to join us.
Yeah. See what he's actually doing. Well, I can't remember what wheels and tires I was trying to mount the other day, but it was somebody. It's back to it, the old school way of mounting them that we used to do, and all I remember is just forgetting how spoiled I am with how well the VP three-piece wheels mount up now. Like, it's just such a huge difference to be able to just kind of get everything set about where you need it and just tighten the 5 screws down. And it seems to work right away.
Yep. As I'm doing these mayhems that have 1,000 screws front and rear.
Yes. Now,
I was thinking how good all my Vanquish worms are.
the new methods, I don't know if you guys have seen those. They're called the Roost.
Yeah.
They now those are the real ones are not. They don't have the front bead lock. So on the little ones they didn't, or on the scale ones they didn't do that front bead lock either. But they put in the full detail of all the other parts and pieces of them. So that they actually milled in method and all that, and milled in the edge detail around the outside, and it looks great. But those, without having to do any of the beadlock hardware, it's just the 5 screws to assemble them. So those things go crazy fast.
Long time no see.
What's up, man?
Same old shit, different day.
I wondered where you were. Not like you to miss one.
Yeah, son and I went to the mini mart and got some chocolate shakes and was screwing around and stuff, and came back.
Since I've been having internet issues lately, before I actually decided to start this thing and post it up and everything, I told Brett to just help me test out, and I would have started earlier, but he was drinking coffee, and I was like, damn it, now I have to go get coffee. So,
not just coffee, tomorrow's.
Yeah. So I had to delay The
Don't tell me Canadian coffee is better than American coffee.
I did like their Tim Hortons better than our like well here well of course we have Starbucks. I'm not a big fan of Starbucks, but the couple that we have here. The thing is with their stupid Tim Hortons is that there's 19 of them, every 5 miles. You can't go anywhere and not run into one.
Like the breakfast
Yeah.
on Sunday morning.
It was the last day before Nicole and I were going to leave Canada, and we after the G6, us and probably 8 others, we all stopped and got breakfast, and then after breakfast we're like, all right, well, let's go to Tim Hortons and kind of figure out what we're going to do and all that. We all get in our car, someone Googles it, and we're going to follow them, and we followed them out of the parking lot and then right back into the parking lot because it was on the other side of the building we were in. Oh, well, that was unnecessary, but worked out all right. So what's new with you, Brian? What'd he do? Went away. I did. I posted that shop update video a week or so ago,
Yeah.
and I had somebody ask if I would sell the Big Wheel project up here in front of me.
Oh yeah.
I was like, 2 pieces of tube and a front end. There's not much to it.
$100.
Yeah. I think I'd rather just keep it around for the fact that maybe I'll finish it one day rather than just go through the hassle of actually shipping it.
Did he offer you a price on it?
No. I mean, if it would have been
Not
something,
serious buyer.
if it would have been something, But that was the thing. It's like how, if I'm not going to sell it for $100, then what's the point? So.
Right.
I don't know who's going to pay $100 for 2 pieces of tube and that front end, but
Yeah, you got to find someone pretty dumb.
there's just nothing. There's nothing to it yet.
Right.
No real work has been done.
I'd love to see that thing complete. I've never seen like a custom bike before.
it would be
interesting
to see that thing done.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe one day. Not exactly super high on my priority list, but I did sort out what I wanted to do for the rear axle in the case that I did finish it. So, Servo City has got a couple of super cheap and easy motor mount setups and drive hubs, the whole deal. I could do a 5mm shaft and adapt it to exactly what I needed and all that, and I think it would come out just fine. But we'll see if I actually end up doing it. My other grand idea lately was to build one of the RC pulling tractors.
Oh, that'd be cool.
An equally terrible idea, but
Yeah.
something different and cool.
There's actually
But you have all the tools to fabricate it, so.
Yeah, I mean, and they're not very expensive actually to fabricate or build. The body is what the tough part is because you can't buy a body.
Mm-hmm.
there's actually a local club here that we just found out that does puller trucks.
Yeah,
It's quite big.
I don't think there's one local to me in Kansas City here. I mean, there's a big one in Missouri, as anybody who knows Missouri would expect. But it's just not that I seriously need another freaking thing to build or get involved in, but
I think you should get a helicopter.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I need to
No, a
stay.
quadcopter.
No, not a quad, 'cause they're too easy to fly. You need
I've got a quad, and I crashed it into my house.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to see what you do with a helicopter.
Right. With a helicopter, I'd give myself a haircut, I'm sure.
You need a big nitro one.
Yeah. There was that internet picture going around, a month or so ago with the dude showing like standing super close to his helicopter, and then the next picture showed like his back cut up a bunch of times, and I think the picture was actually a spoof. It was actually like a
That was a boat prop.
yeah, exactly. It was from something else. It was not from the helicopter like they were trying to depict it that it was. But I guess the dumbest thing that I've seen in RC lately would be the handgun mounted to the quadcopter.
Oh yeah.
That one was
Like
a bit scary.
You're just trying to get this shit banned in a hurry, aren't you? You know.
That's his life goal, I think.
What's that?
That's his life goal, I think. He wants to get quadcopters banned.
Yeah, I mean,
Drones banned.
because that's how it would happen, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh god, what
When
a
there's something fun and then people abuse it, then nobody can do anything with it. Can't have fun and can't abuse it. That's how it works.
that was not going to be well received.
Yeah.
And the worst thing about that is it just gives other people ideas.
Yeah, not
And
that
then
people
it just snowballs.
not that people need help coming up with dumbass ideas or anything, but yes. Because you could give, 99% of the people all the parts required to do that, and 85% of them wouldn't be able to do it, and 15% of them shoot themselves. So it's just not something that normally you would probably have to worry about. But of course, the one guy who can figure out how to mount a gun and fire a gun from a quadcopter is dumb enough to do it. Put it on the internet. He's probably from Canada, with all the guns.
Oh yeah, all the big guns here.
That really riles. That'd get that shit banned in Canada quick. Flying in guns.
Because we're actually very lax about the helicopters.
Yeah.
Wow. That would change that pretty quick.
Right, exactly. See what the Americans are doing? Yeah. I mean, I just assumed that was in America. No.
I would assume so.
Usually a pretty safe assumption.
When you could probably narrow down to one of the states.
Most likely Texas.
Well, I think we lost Josh again.
Yeah, he froze up.
I better send him a message. He didn't know about it last time.
He doesn't have internet. He has shitternet. That's what I call it.
Either that or he's really good at sitting still with a dumbass look on his face.
Yeah, he's probably sitting at the house, talking away.
Yeah, he's probably like, guys, you still there? I can't hire you.
Oh no, he just listens to himself talk. That's all he wants. Yeah, he hasn't even seen his message yet either.
Yeah.
What are you working on, Brian? Anything?
Nothing. I I sanded a little bit on my G2 last night, and that's about as far as I got.
You could probably narrow down one. Mr. Rollins, you're in here. Let's see this sneak in. Probably sitting at the house, talking away. Oh, he listens to himself. I actually have a mic. Usually you don't have a mic.
There he is. He's back, sort of. His logo's there.
Yeah, he hasn't even seen his message yet.
Yeah.
What are you working on, Brian? Anything?
Nothing. I sanded a little bit on my G2 last night. And
Oh, hey, Roland. Nope, lost him again.
Hi, Brett.
what the hell's going on? I heard myself the conversation that we had like 10 seconds ago.
Yeah, I heard that too. Someone was just playing it in the background.
It wasn't me.
I think it was my fault.
Yeah, I think it was Roland.
Sorry.
That's all right. It's all good.
I forgot that he simulcasts these, and the watch only is delayed.
And he must have real bad internet. He came in, then it kicked him out again.
Yeah. I thought I had bad internet, but
Yeah, I recently switched to good internet. Whew, nice change.
My router keeps kicking me off every once in a while for some reason. It was really good for a long time. My last router kind of did the same thing. It was fine for a long time, and then it would randomly kick you off, and then it got worse and worse and worse, and finally I bitched enough that they sent me a new router, and now
What's
this
your
one's
internet
starting to do the
provider?
same. Quest or CenturyLink or whatever the fuck it is now. It changes every 6 months or whatever.
Yeah, because I had a similar problem with that when I was with ATT Uverse. That's horrible.
I live in a podunk little town, and we only get one internet provider, and that's it. We don't have a choice.
Really?
Can you
Man.
hear me now?
There you are. You're
Hi.
Josh, not Harley Designs.
Oh, well, it looks like we're still recording at least.
Yep, still live.
That's, I don't know. It's hard. As long as that's still going on, we're probably fine.
Sure.
Probably don't have the rest of the controls, but oh well. Yeah, anyway, who knows?
the quality's gone down.
Perfect.
It's actually better on my end.
Looks fine on my end.
Maybe it's just me. I am downloading games.
Yeah, this whole internet thing here lately is getting pretty ridiculous. So, I think I need to go swap out my modem again.
So what is your internet provider, I gotta ask?
I have Time Warner Cable.
Okay.
So, and normally my internet speeds are actually good. I get about 300 meg, but for some reason lately, what we've been having happen is just this intermittent loss of connection.
Yeah. I was doing research, and sometimes it can be just a matter of the router itself and not actually the internet provider.
Right.
That's what mine's been having problems with.
The thing with mine is that when we went to this 300 meg deal, the only modem they have is a modem and router.